Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is May the 18th, 2021, and today the topic is the power of the tongue. Before we get into that, y'all, I want to remind you all that this Sunday, if you are in Georgia, in the Griffin area, if you're interested, Anchored Phlebotomy Institute is hosting an open house between the time of 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. They are taking sign-ups, and I believe that they are waiving their registration fee if you sign up on that day or something like that. So, hey, I don't know, but you guys can go and confirm all of this on the Anchored Phlebotomy Institute Facebook. We've been sharing some of their posts as well. So just be on the lookout if that is something that you are interested in. And there's some more announcements, but I'm going to wait until I can have some things in front of me so I can say correct information. But anywho, but that's an event that's coming up this Sunday. So I wanted to make sure I let everyone know about that. Yesterday was quite eventful, to say the least. I don't say that in a bad way. I just say, it was eventful. There was a lot going on. So basically, long story short, your girl did not go back to sleep, as I tend not to do. And then not soon after that, of course, my husband was off from work. My son gets up. It's a whole thing. But I ended up getting a guest. One of my good friends, Miss Summer Sims. Y'all seen her on the show before. She stopped by. We was chatting and whatnot. Bouncing some ideas, all that good stuff. And then I had to go run an errand for my husband. So I went to go do that. She tagged along and everything like that. And we was there doing that. Then I had to go drop, off my husband's phone to him. It was this whole thing going on. Afterwards, she decided to bless her sister. She took me and my little man out to lunch yesterday, and I just was like, which was definitely unexpected, but greatly appreciated. I just was like, thank you. It's one of those things to be on the receiving end of such, you know what I mean? Like, on one hand, it's like perhaps I'm a little bit more so used to being on the opposite end of situations, but I guess maybe I'm learning and growing in this area to just receive the gifts or receive the blessings or whatnot. It's something that I guess I'm personally working on. So I know it wasn't expected, but it was definitely appreciated to enjoy this nice lunch with Miss Summer Sims. Then soon afterwards, I finally met up with my boy with Bros Catering, so we were about some ideas and whatnot as well. He decided to bless us with dinner last night. Next thing I know, we get the doorbell ring, ding dong. Well, he had left, and then he came back and dropped us off some shish kebabs, some rice and whatnot, and I was on dinner last night. So, thank and praise God for these meals, you know what I'm saying? It's good to eat, you know what I mean? But it's just a blessing to, be amongst such giving people, such supportive people, and I hope that they see the same in me. I believe that they do, and perhaps that's it. Maybe it's where some of the inspiration come from to bless me. I don't know, but I'm just saying that I'm thankful and grateful, as well as shouting them out. So, hey, y'all know Summer Sims be doing those painting sips. If you don't know, now you know. So check her out, Sky's Designs. And then, of course, y'all know my boy Bro's Catering. His name is Derek. But, he got Bro's Bites. So check him out. Check both of them out on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere, and patronize them if you can and will. They're both great at what they do. And, they've been a blessing to me. And I guess I don't know, paying it forward, or just, I don't know, I'm just saying that I'm thankful for that. So all of that happened. That's like in the short version of like how it all happened. But yeah, like all of that happened, and then things got a little weird. I was sitting there eating, well, my husband and I ended up getting up or whatever. He's like, oh, you can have the rest, X, Y, and Z. And so I'm eating or whatever, and I get this call on my business line. So I've been iffy about taking calls lately because it's just like a lot of times it's telemarketers and stuff. And so, but I decided to go ahead and answer this call because I was like, maybe it's somebody X, Y, and Z. So I answer the call, and this person proceeds to, I guess to confirm that it's me. So I'm like, so they're like, oh, is this Miracle? And I'm like, oh yeah, this is Miracle. Like, oh, you're a great actor. I'm like, okay, thank you, okay, what I'm saying? Thank you. And then they proceed to ask me some weird stuff, like, they mentioned God, Sex, and Love, which that was one interesting thing. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, why are you calling my business line talking about GSL? I'm like, do you want to be on the show? Like, what is this? You know what I mean? And then they, like I said, just started asking weird questions about, like, I say, kind of about sex, but like saying that they wanted some advice on their sex life, basically is what they kind of was saying. But I'm like, what? I'm confused as how can I help you? Like, why are you calling me? Like, I was very confused. It seemed like I was being trolled or punked or something along those lines. I don't know, what I'm saying? I didn't recognize the voice or anything like that. And so I don't know. I don't know who it was. Obviously, it seemed like they were playing games. But I don't know. I didn't know what to make of that, is what I'm saying. I didn't know what to make of it because it just was like a little bit, how could I say? Well, what comes into my mind right now is like personal, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, you know my name. I don't know nothing about you. I guess you know why I act, all these things. But then again, I guess these are all things that are Googleable. So it's not like, I tell y'all that I act all the time. So, but then how would you find my business line unless you really go deep? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how. Maybe my business line is out there. If you put two and two together, you can figure that out. But it's like, I don't know. I'm just saying it was weird, and I guess maybe it doesn't help because of the situation with Allie, and they got a lot of weird things going on around them. So it's like, so maybe some of the weirdness is rubbing off, or maybe there's some of those people that are like messing with them are starting to mess with me. I don't know. But that was the vibe, and that was weird. And then it didn't help that at some point I got a headache, and I was just like, there was a lot going on last night. Then I guess I'm telling you all this because ultimately it leads up to the topic. So here's the process, y'all. This is the process. But anywho, so eventually, we do the bedtime thing. Put my little man to bed, all this little good stuff, and then I go to sleep. X, Y, and Z. Now I don't know what all I had a dream. I remember a dream. I don't remember all details of everything, but the thing I do remember is this right here. So I remember, I think we was in our house. I think that's where I remember me. I think maybe NJ was around. I don't know. But I definitely remember me, and it seemed like we were in our house, maybe like in the living room area or something. I don't know. We were somewhere. And all of a sudden, all I remember from this dream is that there was some type of there was some type of like flat. At first I said creature because it's like it wasn't a snake. In my mind, I'm thinking eel, but it was like we weren't in no water. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't that long. So it was a flat, I would just say creature. And then it ended up jumping. And that is what woke me up this morning. And I was a little freaked out. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little freaked out by that. And I was like, huh? What is going on? Like, what was that? Like, what? You know what I mean? Thank you hey, good morning to whoever's tuning in. You just came in the middle of me sharing about this crazy dream I just had, or crazy dream that woke me up this morning. So anyway, so yeah, this flat creature was on the floor, and then it hopped, and I was freaked out in the dream. I was freaked out when I woke up, or whatnot. I guess to put some fear in my heart. I don't know. I'm just saying I was freaked out. Then, and I was like, what was it? Like, I don't know what it was. I just was like I said, it was a faceless creature. At the time, when I woke up this morning, I'm like, what was it? It wasn't no snake. It wasn't no, but it was, all I know, it was flat. It was a creature. It was faceless. It wasn't like, it maybe seemed like it had the skin of a snake or something, but not like the design, just like the, whatever that smoothness, you know what I mean? That's significant. when I tell you my next part. So long story short, I come and do my routine, right? So I'm working out, I'm doing all the things, and doing my warm up, the stretches, all the good stuff. And in the midst of that, it was revealed to me. Now, I don't know, or revealed, or it came to me that perhaps it was a tongue. And I just was like, a tongue? Because, I know that tongues have like the bumpy, the taste buds and whatnot. So I was like, well, I don't remember seeing that, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm freaked out that this thing was on the floor and it jumped. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, anyway, now I got two people listening to me in this crazy dream. Hey, good morning. But anywho, so throughout my morning routine, it was revealed, or it came to me that perhaps it was a tongue. And so that was on a whole nother level too, because I was like, a tongue? Oh, good morning, Ewan. Good morning. You listen, you missed it. you gotta record. You have to listen back, man, because I'm in the midst of telling this crazy dream that woke me up this morning. But anyway, so it was revealed that perhaps it was a tongue. And I was like, Lord, a tongue? Like, goodness gracious, like a tongue that was just on the floor, flat, squirming, whatever the heck it was doing, and then it jumped. I'm just saying, it's crazy. Good morning, UN. So anywho, but then, so yeah. And so I was like, okay, if it was a tongue, okay, And so then that's when I guess this inspiration for me to look up these Bible verses. And that's where the topic came from today. Or for today. So here we go, y'all. The power of the tongue. Y'all gotta let me know if y'all like my process, me sharing my process, because it's on a whole other level today. But anyway, so the power of the tongue. Here we go. So the first verse I came across this morning was Proverbs 18:21. It says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. So okay, this is one of the main verses I'm already familiar with when it comes to the tongue and whatnot. Like, so I'm still laughing at my process. This is crazy, right? It's crazy how these things happen. But anyway, and whatnot. And so actually, at some point, I think it was between me when I finished writing the verses and I was getting ready to come and sit down and go live and all that stuff. I was reminded of what's her name? Man, now her name just went away. Maya Angelou. I was reminded of her because anybody that knows her story, knows that like she went through childhood trauma, being molested or raped or whatever the situation was. They got a whole movie about it if you've never heard of it. I know what a cage bird sings. You guys can at least watch the movie or read the book or whatever the case is. But I was reminded of her in regards to this verse because she, I guess, found out at that young age the power of the tongue. And for the longest time, because she revealed that person that did those things to her, and then that person ended up either being killed or whatever the case was, she remained silent for years because of that. I guess because, of course, as a young, especially like in back in the day, and I feel like as a young child, if you realize that because you spoke or because you said something or because, because you it can kind of freak you out that your voice ultimately killed somebody, or had someone killed or whatever the case was in this situation. But anyway, that's like a real, like, tangible look at the, death and life, being in the power of the tongue. But I mean, you can see that in the spirit and stuff too, It's just something to think about. That's what that verse says there. Now the next verse I'm going to share with you guys. So I ended up going deeper. So I ended up reading the entire Proverbs 18. And then and I wrote down a verse that stood out to me, and it was verse 6 in Proverbs. So it's Proverbs 18 and 6. It says, "A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the same of his," here we go, y'all, "of his soul." It's the same of his soul. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think, at the end of the day, we do need to watch what we say, right? I guess that's what ultimately, I mean, in another moment throughout my process this morning, I was reminded of what I was sharing with you all yesterday about David Lynn and the people that had all those negative things to say, or the people that like tried to come in. There was one gentleman that in one of the videos that actually tried to incite the crowd that was surrounding them, kind of like saying as if he didn't want to talk to the pastor, but he just was like, he was basically saying to the people that were surrounding, it's like, y'all should have been booing him, or y'all should have, why you out letting this man talk X, Y, and Z, and then like walks away or whatever the case is. It's like, we just got to be careful about like what we say and do, because I mean, bro, like I said, definitely like in the power of the tongue, right? But anyway, let's keep going. James 1:26, it says, "If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue, but deceives his head, this person's religion is worthless." Whew, I'm just gonna keep going, y'all, because I ain't look. Man, I'm saying going in on this morning, huh? Proverbs 21:23 says, "Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble." Proverbs 12:18 says, "There is one whose rash words whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing." I mean, again, death in life, death being that thrust, life being that healing. I also ended up reflecting on Proverbs today, just in general, because if I'm not mistaken, isn't Proverbs, wasn't it like authored by Solomon, or at least Solomon's servants? So I kind of just imagine, right? I was sitting there like, Solomon probably was like, because he did ask for wisdom and everything like that. So who knows? He probably was just sitting there and just like everything, words of wisdom that came to him, probably he just telling everybody like, "Hey, write it down." Like, for us to have all these, words of wisdom now. I mean, yeah, Proverbs goes deeper into this subject of the tongue, but it also just has so much wisdom throughout the whole thing. And then it does just seem like it was not necessarily a flowing story, but more so a bunch of random words of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I just kind of pictured that this morning, like what that looked like for them to document the things that Solomon was thinking and saying and whatever. I don't know. I'm just because I mean, I doubt he was there with the pen, but who knows? He could have, well, not a pen, but whatever they was writing with back in the day. But I don't know. It's just funny. Anyway, let's get into this other verse here. So Matthew 12:36 says, "I tell you, on the day of judgment, people will give account for every careless word they speak." Y'all, I mean, if nothing else doesn't encourage you to like watch what you say and do, like that right there should, because it's like, yeah, we'll have to account for every careless word, as it says, and it's like, I mean, there's a lot of people saying a lot of things, and there's a lot of, careless words being espoused, right? I mean, that's why I say I try to be careful about what I say and do, or I try to be definitely being like, okay, this is Bible, this is miracle, like being very clear, because it's like, I don't want to be making people fall astray or be or stumble or whatnot by the words that I say. or nothing like that. You guys can go deeper. There's plenty of verses in the Go Deeper section regarding this topic of the power of the tongue. Ooh, y'all, I don't know if this is the whole thing of Pope, but it's kind of deep when you really think about it. Now, the Bible verse of today is 1 Peter 3:12. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Hey y'all, I'm Nyla O'Neal with Anchor Phlebotomy Institute. We're located at 737 South Hill Street in Griffin, Georgia. Look, this program was birthed out of a will to help and push you closer to your dream, customizing each and every learning path for each and every student, giving you hands-on education with myself and other teammates. We're here to help you and drive you to be the best version of yourself. Look, we're a 12-week program, and it will be vigorous, but it will be worth the work. Put the work in, you will see it in the end. We are dedicated to seeing you not only finish our program, but to get certified. We are an accredited school through the National Phlebotomy Solutions, and we are so ready to meet each and every one of you. Contact us today.